Hello, J76 Ian here, and this is AOR Gt3 Season 9. This is the second round of the championship from the Dubai International Circuit, and we've qualified pretty well actually, in 4th place, just a couple of hundredths off the front row. Did a 1:37.3 I believe, and we're coming up now to the end of the formation lap, so it will be a rolling start, and we're actually in a position in this bottom tier where we could challenge for a podium. We're certainly quick enough in qualify. Let's see how the race goes. So we have to wait for the first guy to go and not jump it too much, and we go not particularly well. The 3 guys in front get a very good start. No one's really close to us down to the first corner, and I'm trying to brake as late as I can, but a little bit earlier than normal because the tyres and brakes are not warm enough yet, and I make a terrible mistake of obviously braking too late, and a car smashes into me there a couple of times. Horrendous. So apologies for a couple of the cars that got caught up in what was my mistake. I lost it completely on my own. Ended up being quite a bad crash, and my car is really heavily damaged. So I've got no choice but to pit, and it's a race where you shouldn't need to do a pit stop, to be fair. So it's going to put us a long way back. You can see I'm struggling to even control the car down the back straight. So coming in for our pit stop, so the mechanics will no doubt change our tyres, although we don't really need that change. You can see another car is in the pits as well, but what will really take time is the repairs to the car. So we're going to be stuck in the pits for quite some time, and by the time we come out, the first few will be going through, so we'll already be lapped. We're running the Renault RS01, and if you're wondering why this is round 2 and there's not a video of round 1, that's because round 1 that took place at the Circuit of the Americas in Austin, I qualified 7th I think on time, but I got a couple of grid place penalty because of speeding the pit lane. But I never actually took part in the race because I stupidly pressed the wrong button on my controller between qualifying the race, which disconnected me. By the time I connected back to join the guys for the race, they'd already started, so I was down as a DNS, did not start, which was really frustrating. So at least this race I got as far as the race, and at least I showed that I'm competitive and could possibly mix it with the top 6 this season. But it's going to be a lonely race from us from this point, because as you can see, the guys in 3rd, 4th and 5th are going to come around the outside of us, so we're a lap down already on these guys. So it's an hour race, so not lapped, it's timed, and 47 minutes to go, and we do a similar mistake, turn in too late, probably carry a bit too much speed, and we do what we did on the first lap. Thankfully we don't collect anybody, but what this does mean is we don't lose any positions. We're still 12th of 12 that are actually running, but it does mean that a few other guys have lapped us, and we're going to be basically close to the guys in 9th and 10th for most of the race. Now this was an interesting one because Play for Stefano's having a good battle for 8th in front, but he actually lets us through here on the straight, which is very good of him. He doesn't need to do that, to let us go, because we're potentially maybe a little bit quicker than him. But then I was in a quandary because I get the blue flags immediately, so fast car approaching, I've got to let him through, and stupidly I don't really know enough about this game to know how long you can ignore the blue flags before you start getting penalties or disqualifications, so hence I let him back through. And he did let me through a couple of times. I did apologise afterwards. I wanted to make clear that I wasn't playing games or trying to annoy him in any way. A couple of times I dropped back just so I could run my pace, practice running fast, but not actually be distracting him in his mirrors all the time. So this is actually what will turn out to be my fastest lap of the race. Up to this point, 1:39.8. You can see from the lap times on the left, they're all over the place because again I was dropping back and basically just playing around. I had nothing to gain. I'm so many seconds behind the guy in 9th place. Well, I'm over a lap in fact behind him, so there's nothing to really gain by pushing that much, but I wanted to have a go and see with the slightly worn hard tyres what sort of speed I could do. It wasn't a spectacular lap. I think it was 7th or 8th quickest, fastest lap out of the guys that started, something like that. And you can see that I am using Racing Line, which I don't make any apologies for because I'm still relatively new to this game, and let's face it, this is the 5th tier of 5 tiers, so if anybody's going to use those sort of assists, it would be somebody like myself, but no other assists are on, so it's just the racing line and just helping me with braking into the corners. Dubai's National Circuit is one I really like, actually. I've driven it, I think, on a previous game. I can't remember off the top of my head what game that was. Maybe it was just Project Cars 1. So it's nice to go to a circuit that's different to the ones we race in F1. So this is coming through the last corner, and this will be our fastest lap, as I said. It'll be a 1:39.2. So coming through the last few corners, we're going to finish 9th, so we're going to get some points. 9th out of 9, and hopefully we can finish the race in a higher position in the next race at the Red Bull Ring in Austria.